Men stuff right
real,
there.
Man.
Real men stuff.
No, man, because you don't know how this shit came together.
That's right. That's
You
right.
said you dropped a whisper on me.
Calvin, listen to me. What do you think that was going on in the corner? Was there too many voices in the corner?
No, it was a big misunderstanding.
Okay.
Tank was trying to explain what was going on with the hair.
Like many boxers do after their first career loss or draw, Gervonta Davis has fired his coach, blaming him for his performance against Roach. Now, Calvin Ford got emotional during a live video, breaking down as he recalled the sacrifices he made for Tank and how little he's been appreciated. The two have been together for over a decade, and the coach feels Tank has treated him unfairly.
He's gone, and he came to me and said, "Yo, we got to do such." See,
It's
hold
okay.
it back.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
While Tank believed Calvin Ford would be in his corner on March 1st, the veteran coach had his own reasons for skipping this particular fight. Now, with the possibility of Tank's draw against Roach being overturned to a loss, Ford has been dropped from the team. Fans had long been familiar with the trio of Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis alongside Davis. Much like Tyson with Cus D'Amato, or recent duos like Canelo and Eddie Reynoso, or Pacquiao and Roach. That's how the trio of Gervonta Davis, Calvin Ford, and Kenny Ellis resonated with fans. But seeing Barry Hunter with Davis wasn't the sight fans were hoping for.
Everything is good with Calvin because it's the first time he's not the head trainer in a while.
Yeah, for sure. Calvin, again, I said Calvin's pop.
One wonders what might have caused the rift. Speaking with Fight Hub TV, Calvin Ford shed some light on the matter. Davis fought his second PBC Amazon Prime Video PPV card, and besides the main event, the Barclays Center hosted several exciting bouts, including 2 light welterweight title fights. Like many, Ford expected a good fight and observed how Davis's training showed in the ring. With Tank hailing from Baltimore and Roach from DC, he recalled the two sparring often. Ford respected Roach's work ethic and saw it as a great opportunity for him. "Maybe people are misreading the situation. We ain't changing up anything," he said, explaining he just took a step back while the training structure stayed the same. The reporter clarified that this isn't necessarily a breakup or falling out between Ford and Gervonta Davis.
He will always be around, you know what I mean? So, that's pop, like I said. So
They just wanted to know if the temporary separation had strengthened their bond, like when family members spend time apart and grow closer after reuniting. "No, he came to see me dead slow, down and worrying about me because boom, he knows I spend time with my amateurs," Coach Ford replied. "You know me, both of y'all know me very well. I spend time with my amateurs all the time. That's my piece." Even though he wasn't directly training Tank, just knowing where he was and that he was training gave Ford peace of mind. He admitted that the time apart helped them both appreciate their connection. When he returned to the gym, Ford could tell the lightweight champ had missed him, just like he had missed Tank. That same sense of reassurance was echoed by Barry Hunter as well.
Yeah, without me, without Calvin, it wouldn't be no me. You know what I mean? Because at first, when I came into the...
Calvin will be there, Coach Barry will be there, Coach Boogie will be there, and Kenny will be there as well, he said during an interview. While Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis won't be in Tank's corner, the other coaches will still be present, implying it's not a major issue. Hunter reminded everyone that this isn't the first time changes have occurred in Tank's corner. Having worked with Davis since his amateur days and early career, Hunter is no stranger to the team. Like Ford, he pointed out how the internet often spreads misinformation and people make assumptions without knowing the full story. He emphasized that Tank is like family, reassuring fans that this looks like a temporary shakeup, likely to revert back to the old format when Gervonta Davis returns in a few months.
At DC, they call me Mo.
I'm just a young nigga, won't be out here on the
Calvin is Calvin, you know what I mean?
While it was recently announced that there's been a split between the trainer and Gervonta Davis after over a decade together, Coach Calvin Ford has confirmed the news. Several external factors likely contributed to this, possibly related to Davis's training camp activities or simply his unwillingness to address the situation. Gervonta Davis has remained silent on the matter ever since the rumors began, until now.
And where you just did. We got off the canvas once. It ain't about the dub with me. It's about do you got that will.
Breaking his silence, the narrative shifted. It's no longer just about Calvin Ford's offense, but now involves an issue with Leonard Ellerbe. It was revealed that since Ellerbe left Mayweather Promotions, he no longer had to stay neutral between Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Floyd Mayweather Jr. After his departure, Ellerbe began focusing all his attention on Davis. And while Ellerbe may seem helpful, Calvin Ford believes many of Davis's poor decisions can be traced back to him.
He already seen it.
He said, I can't
That's
get
the
hit
difference.
no more.
And Tank was holding the conversation. Tank said, yo, how about Tank can't, every fight Tank come tell me, I'm going to knock him out.
Hence, Calvin Ford hasn't been comfortable with Leonard Ellerbe's constant presence. Previously, the core team of Gervonta Davis, Calvin Ford, and Kenny Ellis was so tight-knit that even under the Mayweather Promotions banner, Floyd Mayweather Jr. had to respect their unity. However, since leaving Mayweather Promotions and bringing Leonard Ellerbe into the fold, that once solid relationship has started to show cracks.
Talk to him. I'm not talking to little Tank anymore. I'm talking to the grown man Tank. For being with him for so many years, it's amazing.
Moreover, Gervonta Davis has been making poor career choices, feeling manipulated by Leonard Ellerbe. According to Tank, his trainers believe the entire camp is against his close association with Ellerbe. They see him as someone who aligns with whoever is most profitable for him. He was with Floyd Mayweather when he saw what he could gain from that relationship, and when Floyd's fighters no longer serve his interests, he moved on to Tank Davis. This is exactly how Davis's team views Ellerbe, with the exception of Tank himself. Ultimately, this situation led to Davis's decision to part ways with his coach, Calvin Ford. Ellerbe played a pivotal role in the growth of Mayweather Promotions during Floyd Mayweather's career, helping to promote some of the biggest fights, including Mayweather vs. Pacquiao. He also played a significant role in Gervonta Davis's rise, making him a pay-per-view star, and promoted Davis's fight with Frank Martin this past Saturday. Since parting ways with Mayweather Promotions in 2022, Davis has faced off against some of the best in the lightweight division, including Rolly Romero, Hector Luis Garcia, Ryan Garcia, and Frank Martin. It's not hard to believe that leaving his former mentor was the right decision for Davis, at least according to boxing commentator Showbiz the Adult. Over the past few months, Davis has been feuding with Floyd Mayweather on social media, with both taking shots at each other.
Right. And Tank's gonna get every last one of these guys y'all want him to get. You just can't get them all in one night.
Did you see what he tweeted at Shakur?
No,
However, after Davis's latest fight against Martin and Leonard Ellerbe's departure from Mayweather Promotions, the boxing commentator shared why leaving Mayweather was the best decision for Davis. Yesterday, the popular YouTube commentator posted a short clip titled "Tank Davis leaving Floyd was the best thing for his career." In hindsight, it might seem like Floyd Mayweather, being the biggest name in boxing, would be the best mentor for Davis. However, the commentator explained that Floyd thinks like money. His focus is always on profit. A lot has changed with Gervonta Davis, and we now understand why Calvin Ford unknowingly predicted what would unfold between him and Tank before their fight against Frank Martin. When Davis was absent from the media workout, Coach Calvin Ford spoke on his behalf, saying things that are now playing out between them, revealing how their relationship has evolved. Now we understand why Calvin Ford said, "Watching him in camp, it scares me because of the things he's doing and his maturity. When he gets in that ring, he'll hurt Frank Martin." Ford had observed Davis carefully, noting how focused and attentive he was, listening to conversations and showing a level of maturity. Speaking to Fight Hype, Davis's coach urged people not to read too much into Davis's no-show at the media workout, emphasizing that it wasn't as significant as some might have thought.
Oh, watching them in camp, it scares me. You know what I'm saying? Because of the things that he's doing and his maturity of,
"I want to apologize to the fans," Ford said, killing the buzz that had built up since the scheduled arrival started some 90 minutes earlier. He can't make it at this moment because he's been delayed, but he's going to make it up to y'all on fight night. Trust what I'm saying to y'all. Y'all want to see this performance that he's going to put on. To the fans, Ford added, "How long y'all been knowing Tank, man? I used to do the same thing y'all do. I stopped doing it. Let him just do what he does because, at the end of the day, that's what makes Tank. I don't know how his body is, you know? Sometimes y'all got to go to work. Do y'all feel like it all the time? As for whether Tank would make the press conference, Ford remained optimistic.
Press conference. Let's look at history. Let's look at the stats.
For sure.
So, again, but how many times y'all came here, y'all? He did. One time he did showed up in one.
I've never seen Tank miss a press conference. Let's look at history. Let's look at the stats, Calvin Ford said. Finally, Ford warned Frank Martin on behalf of his absent fighter, Gervonta Davis, saying, insert Ford's warning to Martin.
And for the fans, who do the conspiracy theory, there's no concerns,
No, we great. We great. Trust me. Y'all want y'all guy to come out and put on that show for y'all. Trust me.
We're back in business. We've been waiting for this for a while, Ford said of Davis's first fight back after 14 months. We want to put on a great performance. We want to put on a great performance for the fans at the end of the day. Truly, Gervonta Davis has been scaring everyone, and it's not just Calvin Ford. Floyd Mayweather has felt it too. Unsurprisingly, their conflict has some connections to Floyd Mayweather, which led to the beef that began surfacing between Gervonta Davis and Calvin Ford.
And I'm like, okay, I
Why would he like him? Why would he like him? He's a great fighter, but he's a horrible, horrible person.
Floyd Mayweather and Gervonta Davis have a tumultuous relationship, with both doing everything to get back at each other. The pair share a lot of mutual friends and acquaintances, including Leonard Ellerbe and Calvin Ford. For Floyd Mayweather Jr., he expected more loyalty from Leonard Ellerbe, given how far they've come together and how Ellerbe only built a relationship with Davis through Floyd. However, once Leonard Ellerbe started playing mediator between Floyd and Tank Davis, Floyd decided to cut him off, wanting him to pick a side.
So I'm sure that he ain't gonna change. He's gonna be who he is, and again, he don't bother me. I don't think 2 seconds about none of that because he's not.
Similarly, Gervonta Davis expects Calvin Ford's loyalty to be on his side, given that Ford has been his trainer since the beginning of his career. However, while Calvin Ford didn't necessarily sit on the fence, Davis expected more from him. To Davis, Calvin Ford shouldn't have been passive or euphemistic whenever Floyd Mayweather's name was mentioned. He expected Ford to display the same level of uncensored disdain that characterized his own approach toward Mayweather. Once Ford failed to do that, Davis decided to cut him off.
Why does Leonard feel this way? Like, I've been covering the sport. I know the relationship, but they're going to be
history will tell you everything you need to know about him.
Following the release of the footage, Calvin Ford was forced to discuss the conflict between Floyd Mayweather and Gervonta Davis during a virtual interview with Fight Hub TV. He claimed that Floyd Mayweather should be happy to sail with Gervonta Davis as he cruised to his 30th career victory in 30 fights.
It'll be all right, man. Another thing I want to touch on is the Floyd situation. Floyd is Floyd. That's like I say, Tank is Tank, man.
Sadly, it's the other way around, he began. Like I say, Tank is Tank, but at the end of the day, the man is chasing greatness. You should be supporting greatness. I always tell you that. You should be supporting that.
The man is chasing greatness. And you should be supporting that. I always tell you that. You should be supporting that.
He also claimed that it was situations like this that revealed the true colors of people, and this was the case with Floyd Mayweather. He said, "It's a rocky road where we see what's going on. Just pay attention. The story is going to reveal itself." But again, that's how a lot of people are. Somebody said that's the true colors of a person coming out, man.
It's a rocky road that we said what's going on. Just pay attention, man. The story's going to reveal itself. But again, that's how you burn.
They can't stand, comfortably. I don't like using that word, man, but our Lord knows, he knows, he concluded. As diplomatic as Calvin Ford sounded, his words did much damage to Floyd Mayweather, who wasn't willing to tolerate any more disrespect from Gervonta "Tank" Davis and his team. Afterward, Davis's coaches shared their thoughts on money. Calvin Ford revealed what went on behind the scenes in a clip uploaded to his Instagram handle and spoke in the manner Tank had expected. But by then, it was too late.
Why? You want him to lose? That's the question. Do you want him to lose?
Now, as Davis continues to shine in the ring, His coaches are speaking out about Mayweather's actions and raising concerns over his reported decision to bar Davis from his training facility at such a critical time. Davis's trainer, Calvin Ford, along with assistant coach Kenny Ellis, recently voiced their frustrations in a video shared on Ford's Instagram. Ellis didn't hold back, questioning Mayweather's motives. If Tank is like a son to Floyd, why would you put him out of the gym, biggest fight of his career, and you ban him? Why did you want him to lose? That's the question. Do you want him to lose? The tone was unmistakably frustrated as the coaches painted a picture of betrayal.
Sometimes people do things without thinking. You know, it's like the situation that we supposedly got put out the gym. We kept it quiet from Tank.
Ford echoed similar concerns, describing the emotional complexity of the relationship. He recounted a conversation with Mayweather where the boxing legend denied blocking Davis from using the gym. However, both coaches remained adamant that Mayweather needed to be held accountable. Ellis even challenged the media to ask Mayweather directly about his motives. I would love for the media to ask him, what was on your mind when you put Tank out of the gym? Despite the tension, Ford also saw a silver lining.
We went shopping, hanging out, having fun. I got a phone call. No, I called.
Reflecting on the incident, Ford noted that it was a lesson within a lesson. What initially felt negative turned out to be positive. Tank worked harder, and the results proved that hard work paid off when Davis knocked out Ryan Garcia in the 7th round, securing his status as one of the sport's elite fighters. Ford also shed light on the emotional situation between Mayweather Jr. and Davis, calling it a different type of beast. He continued, that dad coaching stuff, you get what I'm saying? It's emotions in it, you know? That situation, boy, it's heavy, you know.
He said, oh, hell no, that didn't happen. You know, so I let it go because I'm thinking somebody playing the game until we got back here. And then when we got back here, they said they couldn't let it in the gym.
The Baltimore coach then explained how he called Mayweather and questioned him about not allowing Tank in his gym, but the undefeated boxer denied doing any such thing. Both coaches placed the accountability on Mayweather, and Ellis even said, I would love for the media to ask him, what was on your mind when you put Tank out of the gym? We are from Baltimore, man. Any situation, we stay 10 toes down. The grind doesn't stop. However, Ford tried to see the positives. I recall that day vividly. It was a lesson within a lesson. It was not a negative experience. In fact, it was quite the opposite, as it helped them overcome significant obstacles. What we initially perceived as adverse was, in reality, beneficial. One must discern the light within the darkness, and we recognized it. It was indeed good, he wrote in the caption, also saying something similar in the video.
Jim, we from Baltimore, man. In any situation, we stand 10 toes down. The grind don't stop.
According to Ford, the situation allowed the 30-0 record holder to work a little harder, and the outcome was the 7th round knockout of Kingry Ryan Garcia. The two first met in 2015, 2 years after Davis made his pro debut. Mayweather saw Davis during one of Adrian Broner's training camps, and that's how Davis joined Mayweather Promotions. Mayweather and Davis worked closely together, with Mayweather aiming to mold Davis into a superstar. Their relationship was very strong, and they shared a mentor-protege bond.
Let's go, Ryan! He can upset the world over there. Oh, yeah. I like seeing some upsets. Oh, yeah.
Calvin Ford today is known mostly for his contributions to Gervonta Tank Davis's career, but he has done much more for his community. He co-founded the Upton Boxing Center with Kenny Ellis, creating a nurturing environment for aspiring boxers and helping them prepare for competitions like USA Boxing and the Junior Olympics. Without him, many of those young individuals could have become another addition to the statistics.
Big knockout for Tank, 30-0, 28 knockouts. What did you guys think of Tank's knockout tonight?
I think it was amazing, bro.
Instead, because of Ford's dedication to coaching, those individuals have become successful athletes, revitalizing the sport in Baltimore. All of this was possible because of Ford's coaching philosophy, hard work, determination, and relentless pursuit of success. Interestingly, Ford's life story has also inspired the character Dennis "Cuddy" Wise in the acclaimed series The Wire, which illustrates his impact both inside and outside the ring. However, his coaching philosophy is centered around fostering discipline and resilience, offering hope and structure to his athletes.
Knockout to me because it looked so crazy on the video.
I do. I gotta see it. I gotta.
You didn't see it?
I've seen it, but you know, it's a lot going on.
Hold on, Lauren, do you happen to?
His commitment to developing young talent and changing lives remains at the forefront of his coaching career, demonstrating the profound impact one individual can have on their community when surrounded by adversity. Being a beacon of hope is not everyone's cup of tea. However, for Calvin Ford, it's just another day at the office. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality content like this. Until next time, peace out.